message. When people hear that there are 5 million refugees, they think that something terrible has just happened in this conflict. So we need to use precise words. These are citizens of the Palestinian Authority. They are descendants of refugees. But by the way, if we use the term descendants of refugees, most of the world's population are descendants of refugees. So I believe that the Western countries, if they support truly the idea of 2 states for 2 peoples, and are insistent on continuing to operate against expansion of settlements because they view it as an obstacle to peace, should do absolutely the same thing with the expansion of the number of those who are registered as refugees. First, I believe the Western countries should stop using the term refugees and use the precise term descendants. I think this is an easy thing to do and a critical thing to do. Words matter in this conflict, and if we begin to talk about descendants as separate from the real refugees, who are probably numbered now in several tens of thousands, that will matter, that will make a difference. The second thing that I think needs to be done is to get the numbers. N.K. Sitbon talked about taxpayer money. You spend $1 billion a year supporting this organization. In return, the minimum you should get is the numbers. UNRWA refuses to provide the numbers of the real refugees, those who are defined in its mandate as those as having had their place of residence in Palestine between 47 and 49, and their descendants. As Western countries, I think you have the right as taxpayers and a duty to your own taxpayers to get the numbers. Why is UNRWA refusing to release the numbers of how many of those it services are refugees and how many descendants? And ultimately, I think you should also demand that UNRWA cease the practice of registering the descendants as refugees. And I'll end by the following, because you might be wondering about that. UNRWA has been very effective over the decades in conflating its humanitarian mission with its political mission. It gives the impression that without the political mission, which is to continue to register descendants as refugees, that's the political part, it cannot carry out the humanitarian part. The schools, the hospitals, the handing out of welfare and food. That is absolutely not true. The mandate of UNRWA, as approved in the General Assembly, says that UNRWA has the mandate to care for the refugees and their descendants. And this is the mandate. So UNRWA can call someone a descendant and still provide him with schooling, health care, and food. But UNRWA masks that. UNRWA tells you that in order to provide schooling, it needs to call that descendant a refugee. That is absolutely not true. This is a bureaucratic decision that never went to the General Assembly, therefore a bureaucratic decision that is